Morning, everyone. Okay, let's wait for a
Good
few
morning,
minutes.
sir.
Morning. Okay, let's wait for a few minutes. Until then, we'll get started slowly. Okay, for time being, let's get started. Let me start sharing my screen. So, just to go back and rewind what we discussed yesterday, and then maybe we can continue it with today's discussion. So we kind of started with the subcomponents in cloud, and then we have seen how a customer is onboarded to Azure portal. I mean, what type of customers we have, how a customer is onboarded, maybe how we can give, I mean, how Microsoft gives certain recommendations or suggestions from a direct customer to a partner customer and from a partner customer to an enterprise customer. So there is this movement, there is this shift of that customer base, and that particular customer has to go through all these processes, right? And we have different regions, different services which are available across the Azure cloud. So now once you are into this Azure cloud, let me open the notepad as well. Yeah. So this is the specific URL which you have to consider for logging into the Azure portal or logging into the Azure cloud, portal.azure.com, right? So once you log into this portal, everything, maybe anyone can log in, even they don't have the premium or they don't have the subscription. Anyone can log into this portal. It's totally free. I mean, until and unless you activate your subscription, you cannot use any services from the Azure portal, but still you can use that same URL portal.azure.com and you can still log into this portal. Now, log in the sense the one who have the KSR email IDs for them, you can easily log in using personal
Yes,
email IDs.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Uh, could you please, switch your theme to light one of Azure? The visibility will be much better then.
In case of white, it would be very difficult to understand. That's what I felt for the other batches. The reason why I switched it to black.
I don't know.
Maybe,
Sir, can you start recording?
I guess it is recorded, right?
It is already recorded. So, I mean, I was stopped earlier. Can you just restart?
Okay, sure. Let me start. Yeah, no worries. I'll again reshare my screen. Just a moment. Hmm. Here it would be light. Now let me know if it's visible.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, cool. So with this URL, once you log into this portal, you can just access what all services are available, what all resources or services are available, how this cloud looks like, how the cloud portal looks like. You can still explore this part by the time being we activate our subscription. Now, what is subscription? How the hierarchy inside, once you enroll to a specific cloud, once you are into that cloud portal, what all hierarchies we have inside the cloud. Now, the infrastructure, the platform, and software, these are sub components of every cloud. But once you log into that specific cloud portal, we have certain hierarchy, we have certain flow of information. So what is that exact flow? What is that exact hierarchy we need to understand? So any portal, any cloud portal, if you consider, or any cloud, if you consider, see, it's a simple example that if you want to check any OTT platforms, right? Now, let's suppose you are considering Amazon Prime or Netflix. These two platforms, if you want to access all the movies in them, right, without subscription, without taking a premium subscription, or even a monthly or a yearly or a quarterly, whatever, whichever subscription is feasible to you, you have to purchase that subscription, and depending on that subscription, you can view for that particular time duration, that particular time slot. So same is the case here for the Azure. If you want to use this Azure portal and all the services which are available inside this Azure portal, you need to activate your subscription. Subscription in the sense that I am paying from my pocket that I would like to use all these services. So you just have to compare it with an OTT platform, right? So let's take an example of Netflix only, right? So in order to use Netflix, we need subscription, right? So that same subscription is available in this Azure portal. Now, what does the subscription mean? Once you have a subscription, you can view any movie or any series in Netflix, right? Same. Once you activate this Azure portal, once you create a subscription inside this Azure portal, you can use all the services. Now, services are like movies or series. You can use all the services or resources which are available inside this Azure portal. Now, some might get confused that at some point of time, I am trying to say services, and at some point of time, I am trying to say resources. So, what are resources and what are services? Both are same. Words are different, the wording is different. If I say service, if I say resource, both are same. So, what is the exact hierarchy? Yeah, good. Someone had a question, it seems. No? Okay. So, what is the exact hierarchy inside this cloud? Hierarchy in the sense, subscription is at the topmost position. So once a subscription is given, after that subscription, there is a resource group. There is a resource group. And after this resource group, there is a resources, individual resources like storage account is one resource, database is one resource, Azure Data Factory is one resource. So these are all individual resources which are part of resources hierarchy. So this is the exact three-level hierarchy which is present inside a cloud, right? So how and where do we, what is this specific three-level hierarchy, right? We just have to understand. Again, I will again come back to the Azure portal. How, once you activate, once you need to activate this, you need to have minimum one subscription. Minimum one subscription. You can take more than one subscription also. So whenever you come down to this Azure portal, in the very first instance, it will give you some three buckets or three options, like three pop-ups. That would you like to continue using this Azure cloud with the paid service starting free? Now, I may not be able to see that. Okay, anyways, we can check that. Maybe I'll capture that screenshots. Um, so you can directly or you can blindly go, so you can scroll down and you have this navigate option, or you can go above in the create resource, you can start, or maybe you can directly search. You have so many options available here. You just have to explore this portal, right? So in this search bar also, you can directly type a subscription. So if you type a subscription, it will give you an option called a subscription. You just have to go to this subscription. Now, for me, I'm an admin. I can see all the subscriptions which are available, right? All there are many subscriptions which are across, which are still active. Maybe they're not using any resources in that, but these are still active. And you can see there is very rarely any costing. Very rarely there is any costing. For me only. This is my own subscription because I can see, I mean, you can see it's so owner. So only for this there is some costing. For the all other subscriptions, there is no as such costing. Might be they have completed using their free credits and they have kind of kept it paused. Paused in the sense there are no services or resources in that. Subscription is still there, but there are no resources or services. So once, I mean, first explore the UI. The UI is most important part of this Azure cloud. Where and what kind of information do you search? Now, um, you are in the home tab. You have to first activate your subscription. Now, how to activate it also we will discuss. But just to give you an idea, the first level in the Azure cloud, in the hierarchy of that Azure cloud is your subscription. So once your subscription is activated, you can have more than one subscription. A customer, if there is one customer, a customer can have more than one subscription. He can have always more than one. One is minimum. With that minimum one subscription, he can create multiple resource group. So one subscription can have many resource groups, many RG. And one RG can have many resources. One RG can have many resources. That's how the original flow of informations. So one subscription can have many resource group and one resource group can have many resources in it. Now, what is this resource group, right? Okay, accepted that we need to activate a subscription. Resources are what? All the individual services. As I've said, resources and services are same. The wording is different. Both, whatever I'm trying to say, both have that same meaning, both represent that same information. So resources and services are all standalone services which are available, like ADF, storage account. You have so many, like databases we have key vaults, we have Synapse, we have Databricks. So we have many services which are available across this Azure cloud. So remember the most important part. A customer need to have one subscription. One subscription can have multiple resource groups, and in one resource group we can have multiple resources. That's how the original hierarchy is. Now, again, let me go back to the portal. See, in the ribbon is what, for the people who have attended Power BI, for them it's very easy, or who already know Power BI. In Power BI we have a ribbon bar. Same here, in the Power BI service also we have a ribbon bar. So that same functionality I would try to replicate it here. Once you log into the portal, you have this ribbon bar where you will get some options. Like if you go to this, it will give you a list of all the or maybe premium services which are available, right? Microsoft Cloud premium services. Now, if you go to this option, maybe it will give you all the selections which you would like to have, your favorite services or your dashboard or your list of. Now, if you go to this all services, it will display all the services which are available, more than 250 services, right? So all these services are directly available here. You can click on any of this service and you can start creating that service. So for every service, the charges are different depending on the usage. Now, you have a global search bar also where you can search whatever would you like to have, maybe a service name, maybe a new service also, your subscription. So everything you can search. Now, as it's a Microsoft product, all the Microsoft products are coming with an integration to Copilot. You have this Copilot option as well, right? So if I click on Copilot, what it is recommending, I'm just
So
trying to
just
click on.
may I ask,
Go ahead.
sir, still like you are saying, like subscription is mandatory for
Mhm.
using this Azure, right? As well
Mhm.
as the saying like under the subscription we have resource group as well as the resources. If that is
Mhm.
the case, why do we need multiple subscriptions? Give an example. Tell me that scenario.
Okay. If you are an individual, you are satisfied with your one subscription. If it's an enterprise company, in
Okay.
enterprise company, individuals will not take separate subscription, right? It will be a company level subscription. So a company can have many projects, and every project there are many teams. So would you think that if a company takes only one subscription, will it be suitable for them? We are
So you,
considering from our individual point of view.
okay,
An individual can take more than one subscription also, but if it's an enterprise company, if it's a even mid-scale company, an enterprise or mid-scale company or a partner-led company can have many subscriptions, right? So one
okay, you mean
subscription is shared by one project, one subscription can be shared by one team as well.
you mean to say subscription is nothing but an each user, right? Can I
It's not a
understand like
user. It's not a user. I haven't said anywhere it's a user. One user can have multiple subscriptions. So how can you consider that one subscription is one user? Subscription is nothing but you are trying to pay certain amount for services or resources which you will be using. Accepted. But subscription, okay. Now, if you consider Netflix, it's an individual subscription level, right? So if an individual purchases a subscription only, then he can activate it. So if there are four individuals, all four of them have to purchase separate subscription for Netflix. I mean, that can be shared. If you have two devices, three devices, that can be shared. So here it is not that similar. It's not exactly similar. You subscription is what you're paying certain amount. Okay, good. But subscription is not only for one user. It can be for a company as well. It can be for a company as well. It can be for one single substream as well, like one project or one single team as well. So in one project, you may have 3 to 4 subscriptions also at some point of time. It is not always that it will be only one subscription. It can be more than one subscriptions. Yeah, for our case, we are individually practicing everyone. I mean, everyone is practicing individually. That's the reason everyone will have separate subscription. But we can have one single subscription which can be shared across multiple people.
okay, okay,
So you have this Copilot also. I mean, the Copilot is only restricted to this Azure portal. I mean, if you want to check anything, if you want to explore any options here, you can explore them. Explore in the sense you can prompt them and it will give you the results, the prompting results. And there are some options like notifications. You have this Azure shell. Now, what is Azure shell? You can write a script, a Power script or a PowerShell script. You can write it. So that option is also available. Settings, maybe you would like to go back to settings and how your display should look like black background or white background. You can use that options. The primary discussion is for subscription, resource group, and resource. So what I would do is I'll just give you a brief idea that what this resource group is and what all individual resources are and how do we create them. Again, let me go back. I'm into this primary Azure portal. So once you log in, once you are using it for the very first time, as I've said, it's recommended to start with a subscription. So there is this service. Subscription is also a service. It's also an individual service which is available inside this portal. Everything which you see is all the services. What you see in this Azure portal, except settings and appearance, all other options are individual or standalone services which are available inside this portal. So once I go to this subscription, you have an option called as add. Add means what? I want to add a new subscription. So if I just click on it, it would ask me what should be your subscription name, what should be your billing account. Billing account would be common for everyone. Billing profile means, I mean, who is the person who is using this and what is the plan. See, usually for you people, it would be free plan for the first 1 month. Post that, it would be Microsoft Azure paid plan. It is called as Microsoft Azure plan. So once you mention this, you have some other options also here. And at the last, once you come down to this last option, the last option in the sense review and create, you can see if everything is validated. See, budget would be in INR. It is none. Now, why nowadays? I mean, whatever charges are there, if you are in India, it would be as per Indian rupees only. But everything is calculated in the background with the US dollars. That's how it looks, right? Earlier, it was every country had that separate billing plan. Still, they have maintained that plan once they generate a bill, but amount is all generated and converted into Indian currency from the US dollar. So you have to just mention these details, and once the subscription is created, right? So maybe I'd open my subscription. This is how it looks like. Right. So this is my original subscription. Now inside this subscription, towards left, you have some options like what is the subscription ID? Every subscription has a unique ID, whether the status is active and under which directory the subscription is. So what is the plan? Azure plan. It's a paid plan, right? For the first few days, it would be Azure free plan. It would be clearly mentioned that it's an Azure free plan. Maybe I'll give you that idea as well. If I go back to subscription and if I click on any of them, let's see. Yeah, see, the status is still active. The offer is pay as you go. I'm just trying to see what is this. I guess they haven't activated it. Let me again go back. Let me try to see the others one. Billing period, currency, subscription name. See, somewhere these were all the free subscriptions which are not active. As of now, only subscription is there, but there are no services, there are no billing plan for it. I mean, they haven't attached any billing plan. So I can go on checking these details. But okay, I'll again move back to my own subscription. So here towards left, you will get all these options. So what these options are? See, overview means it will give you the overview of subscription with certain basic details, how and what kind of subscription it is. And if I just scroll down, see, these are all auto-generated visuals or a kind of auto-generated KPIs. So these KPIs will give you an idea how your subscription is, what is the spending, what all services or resources you have created. I mean, which category they belong to. There are many categories which that services are bifurcated into, right? So what these categories are, if you just go to this option, if you just go to all services, maybe let me open it in a new tab. Yeah. So if you see, these are all categories. These are all categories. And every category, like if I go to database category, these many services are available inside this database category. So every category has multiple services. Like if I go to security, yeah, in security, these many services are available. So there are many categories, like around 17 or 18 categories are there. So every category has respective services bifurcated, right? So if I go to identity, in identity, these are the services which are available. If I go to containers, these are the services which are available. So every category has certain services clubbed together. So 17 categories, around 250 plus services. That's the ideal way of the Azure is divided into 17 categories, around 17, total 17 categories and 250 plus subscriptions. So you can see here, this chart is trying to give me that I have two databases under database category. I have one data factory, I have one server. So it is trying to bifurcate by which category or subcategory, how many services are created. How many services are created. Now, let me close this. And if I scroll down, see, you have many options. Now, if I want to share this subscription with some other person, I can share, right? Ideally, a subscription can be used by more than one individual. So if I want to share this subscription, you need to go to this access control. For all the services inside this Azure portal, you will see this option called as access control. That means if you have created an ADF, if you have created a storage account, if you have created a database, you can give access to that particular service to some other users also, right? That's how a company works. If you go, if you, I mean, if you're into a certain project or if you're into a certain team, a team might have one subscription shared across 5, 6 people. And in that subscription also, you might have separate resources as well. So if I go to access control, you will get an option. It will take some time to load the details. So I can give access to some other users as well. So you have an option, grant access to this resource to some other users. So whenever you are granting access, see, I can check my own access as well. Who am I? I mean, in the sense, I am the service administrator for this particular subscription. So if I would like to add a person, you have an option, add role assignment. So if I want to share the subscription with some other person, I can definitely share it. You have to just define what kind of role would you like to give to that person. There are so many roles available. And this is common for all the services, not only at subscription level. If you would like to give a resource level access only, not complete subscription level access, you can give resource level access for that particular resource, you will get access control. So if I would like to give only reader access, so you have reader access at the start. So I have to just click on it, reader access, click on next. So which user I would like to give an access. So I have to just select a member. It will display all the members which are available under the same domain. So I can search whichever email ID I would like to give an access to. I can mention, I can click on select and I can click on next. At the last step, it will give me an option to give resource or subscription access to that user. So a subscription can be shared, a resource can be shared. Now, once, I mean, what kind of accesses would you like to give, right? What kind of access would you like to give? So if I'm giving subscription level access, let's suppose if I'm giving subscription level access. So in subscription, there are many resource groups, right? And in one resource group, you can have many resources. So if I give subscription level access, anything below the hierarchy of subscription, all the accesses are enabled. Full access. You can say it as full access. If you give subscription level access, you have full authority of all the resource groups, all the resources under resource groups. That is full access. If you don't want to give full access to all the resource group, I mean, you only want to give only one resource group access. In that case, you can, I mean, it is not recommended to give a subscription level access. If there are 3 resource groups and I would like to give access to only one resource group, here you can add one resource group and for one resource group, you can give access. So this is not full access, this is semi-access. Why? Because only one resource group you are accessible, not full subscription. There are the other 2 resource group which is not accessible to you. So there are accesses at different level. Now, if you would like to not give full all the resource group access also, maybe if this resource group, the resource group which I am trying to consider, in this resource group, there are 10 resources or 10 services which are present. So in this 10 services, I would like to give access to one user for only 2 services or 2 resources. I would not like to give for other 8 resources. In that case, you have to give access at resource level, not at resource group level, neither at subscription level. At individual resource level, you can give access. So you have full authority to give access at subscription level. So if you give at subscription level, it would be full access to that subscription. That person can check all the resource groups. That person can check all the resources in every resource group. But if you give access at resource group level, only whichever resources are present in that group, that resources he will be able to access, not full subscription. And if you would like to give access at the resource level, individual resource level, only that resource is visible, neither resource group nor full subscription. So you have 3 different or 3 set of accesses: subscription level access, resource group level, or individual resource level access. Now, again, let me go back and show you. We have, I mean, I've shown you access at subscription level. But in this subscription, let me go back. In this subscription, I have a resource group option here. So there are so many resource groups which are available. So I'm seeing in every group, there are no services. You can still have a blank resource group also. There are zero charges for a subscription. There are zero charges for a resource group until and unless if you have a resource or service created in it. For a subscription or resource group, it will not charge you any amount. These are totally free. But if you would like to activate any service inside that resource group, which is part of one subscription, then it will start charging you. And that charges will be for services or resources, not for subscription or resource group. Subscription and resource group are totally free. They will not charge you any amount. So if I go to any resource group, I can create multiple resource group in one subscription. You have an option here, create. So it will ask me what resource group name should be and in which region would you like to create this resource group. Right. So again, let me go back. So I can click on any resource group. And inside this resource group, what all resources are there, I can check. So these many resources are present inside this resource group. So you can give access at resource group level also. So if I would like to go to this resource, I can click on this resource. You have access control for the resource group also.
So how do we select that which all services to be allocated to individual resource group?
See, you have to first create a subscription, then create a resource group. And inside that resource group, you have an option called as create. So if you click on this create, it will give you a list of all the services which are available. So you can click on that service, that resource would be present inside that resource group.
Okay, so the individual only chooses the
Yep.
desired services, right?
Yep.
It's not on its own.
Now, again, if you have created a resource in one resource group, I would like to move that service or a resource to different resource group. Even that is possible. So if you see, I am inside this subscription. In this subscription, I am inside this resource group. And in this resource group, there are 4 resources or services. So let's suppose I would like to move this Key Vault service, which I have created inside this resource group, to different resource group, maybe from this to this project RG, or maybe to the other one, June Fabric. I would like to move to this. So you just have to click on that resource. In this resource, see, it will give you an option. Now, enabled. Uh, I am just checking whether it's all enabled. You have an option called as move. Move to another resource group, move to another subscription. You can move individual services from one RG to different RG, from one subscription to different subscription. Even that is possible. So all the options which you can think of, yes, almost every option is possible here. Again, let me simplify it for people who got confused. If, let's suppose, I have 2 subscriptions. One is this subscription, and this is the second subscription. So in these 2 subscriptions, here I have 2 resource groups like RG1, RG2. And here in this subscription also I have 2 resources like RGA and RGB. And here in one resource group, you have 4 services or maybe 2 services. Let's consider 2. I have a storage account and I have a database here. This is one service. This is one service, right? Like I'll mention resource 1 and resource 2. And here in this resource group, I have ADF, which is resource 1, and I have Databricks. I'll keep it to ADB as Azure Databricks, which is resource 2, right? So, and in second subscription, I only have resource groups. I don't have any resources in that resource groups. See, for this second subscription, it will not be chargeable unless you create any resource or service, because only creation of subscription and resource groups are not chargeable. These are only kind of partitions, right? You are creating a separate partition of a subscription, and in that subscription, you are creating two more sub partitions like resource groups. So what I would like to do is I would like to move this storage account from the resource group 1 of subscription 1 to different subscription. Yes, you can still move it. You have an option move to different subscription. You just have to click on it. It will give you which all subscriptions you are have an access. You can move to whichever subscription you would like to. Or else, if I would like to move this ADF, the ADF which is present here, from this resource group to different resource group, yes, you can still move that. So a movement of resource from one RG to different RG, from one subscription to different subscription, that is purely possible. You can move all these individual services or resources. Now, even you can move this complete resource group from one subscription to different subscription. Even that is possible. So what I would like to do is I would like to move this RG2 from this subscription 1 to subscription 2. Yes, even that is possible. Again, I'll go back.
Ritesh,
Yeah,
uh, Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, that are part of a resource group.
no, that are part of individual resources. Resource group is what? Where you have 4 or 5 services combined together. That is called as one group.
And all resource group will have that Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, right?
Have I said it? I mean, have I said that every resource group will have ADF? If you go back, there is no Azure Data Factory here. There is no. See, okay, maybe I understood your question, what I was trying to say, or what you are asking. See, in every resource group, in every subscription, you can create whatever services you want. There is no hard and fast rule that only in one resource group there should be ADF, other resource group there shouldn't be ADF. No, you can have 5 resource groups and 5 ADFs in different resource groups. Anything you can create.
Databricks, ADF, these are all services. First, we
Yes.
need to get subscription. Within that, we can create multiple groups, and
Yeah.
within those groups, we can take whatever services we want.
We want. Yes.
And there are 17 categories of services where there are 250 plus services, right?
Yes.
That is the
Yes.
hierarchy.
Yeah. That's the hierarchy. Now
And
I'll go back.
Ritesh, why
Go ahead.
anyone will use two different subscriptions? As we can create that in
You are
one
thinking from
subscription
one
only.
point of view. You're thinking from one point of view. Have I said an individual can use? I've said that he can have more than one subscription. The question is, if you are individual, we may use only one subscription. But if you are a company, right, a company can have 1,000 people. So in that case, there will be separate subscriptions for different teams. That's what I'm trying to say. You can have more than one subscription, that is for sure, but it is not recommended every time. I'm not saying it is compulsory. Neither I'm saying it should be created. What I'm trying to say is one login can have more than one subscription, right? Again, I am working in a team. I'm working in a certain team. Maybe I am an architect. So usually every team will not have separate architects. Usually architect is shared by multiple teams. Maybe one architect is for 2 or 3 teams. So this is team 1, this is team 2, and this is team 3. So in these 3 teams, there is a common architect. Every team has a separate subscription. This architect will have access to all the subscriptions because he is managing all 3 teams, right? That could be one scenario. There is no hard and fast rule that you should have 2 subscriptions, you should have only one subscription. You can have more than one. You can have only one also. Yeah. So I am into this particular RG resource group. So you have access control at resource group. You can give access to this RG and whatever services are present inside this RG, all the services or resources you will be able to access. Now, if I go to one resource also, individual resource, let's suppose I go to this key vault. For this key vault only, I would like to give access to a particular user. You can give access from here, access control. The roles are same. You will almost get same roles. Maybe for a service, it will be very limited. For a resource group, it will be higher. And for a subscription, it will be more higher. But you can see that same roles are mentioned. So every role has a certain combination in the sense certain criteria that this role will give you so access, full access, read access, write access. So you have options. Now, again, the question comes that if I am moving my services or resources across multiple subscriptions, see, if I create ADF in subscription one here, if I'm trying to create ADF in subscription one, that ADF is charging 250 rupees on daily basis with my usage. ADF is not fixed rate. If you're using it frequently, it will charge more. If you're keeping it aside, it's ideal, it will charge you less. All the services in Azure are pay as you go or pay as you use. More the usage, more will be the charges. There are no fixed charges for it. So if this same ADF, which is running on daily basis, in that ADF, there are certain pipelines which are running on daily basis. It is charging you 250 rupees here. It will charge you same here. There is no difference. Why? Because you're just moving from one subscription to different subscription. Ideally, the Azure portal is same, right? The portal which you're using, it's the same portal. It will not charge you differently. It would be the same here. So charges doesn't vary from one subscription, one resource group. No, it will vary on your usage. If your usage increases, it will increase. If your usage decreases, it will decrease. That's how the services are charged. And there are no charges for individual subscription or resource group. Unless you create any resource, it will start charging. Okay, so I'll take a pause. Until now, any questions?
Ritesh,
Hmm.
for a real-time work, if we are using ADF, Azure SQL database with a Power BI, then what will be the best practice to maintain services within one subscription, or we mostly use this multiple subscriptions?
Okay, so maybe from the project point of view, you are not the right person that you can identify, okay, which kind of resource group, which kind of services, where they are maintained. But ideally, what's the standard practices? See how they create. Let's suppose you are a part of certain, you are a part of reporting team. Reporting team will have one subscription, they will have one RG, and whichever services they are using, they will have all that services in one RG. But let's suppose there are certain databases, reporting team doesn't have full access to the database, right? So that databases might be part of different resource group in under same subscription. So standard approach is you can have minimum 2 to 3 resource groups, not more than that. You can have all these in one single resource group also. That is also recommended. But the question is, more the number of resource groups, easier to bifurcate the information. And that is good to have. One resource group can have 50 services also. There is nothing wrong in that. But not good to have 50 service in one RG. Let's split it into multiple RGs, right? Because resource groups are not charging you anything separately. Only services or resources are charging.
I got it.
So the cost will be vary based on the data or based on the
Data,
service.
usage and data, based on the usage and data. So if I've created an ADF and in ADF I've created 2 or 3 pipelines, charges will be lower. But if I have created 10 pipelines and the amount of data which is transformed using that pipelines is on a greater scale, charges will be higher. Maybe again, let's consider that same example that I have 3 pipelines and I am maybe transforming 5 GB of data for first 5 days. In that case, charges will be as per 5 GB, as per 3 pipelines. But same 3 pipelines are pushing 10 GB of data after fourth day or fifth day, charges will increase because okay, the number of pipelines are same, but the amount of data which you're transforming has increased. So charges will also increase. That's how any resources or services will charge you. Yeah. Any
Hi,
other
Ritesh.
questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, is it like creating one subscription? Like the load will be on that subscription instead of like uniformly distributing over the others? Like,
No, no.
for example, if in a company like
It is
only one
it is
subscription is present.
it is not recommended. No. In a company, there is no one subscription. That is what I'm trying to say. For an individual, it will be one subscription. For a company, it will be 5 to 10 subscriptions if it's a small scale company. A company like TCS might have thousands of subscriptions. Only thing is, they are all part of one single domain @ TCS.com. Ours is @KSRConsultantServices.com. Right? They're all connected to one single domain, right? So if I go to subscription, there it is clearly mentioned which domain are you. If I go to my own subscription here, I belong to certain directory or a domain, right? This is the directory. End of the day, if all the directories, I mean, all the subscriptions are connected to one single login or a directory, it's not login, it's one single directory or domain. So charges will be on the domain level. For every subscription, they'll have to pay separately. And at the domain level, they can check what are the total charges of that on the subscription under this domain. Even that is possible.
So, for example, like if user wants to access another subscription, so
Hmm.
that user need to be
He need to
provided
get
in the
access.
subscription level, right?
Yeah, he need to give access. I mean, he need to get an access at subscription level. Unless that, he'll not be
Okay.
able to access.
So, if in the subscription level access, then that user will able to see all the resource group and the
Yeah.
resources present in
Yes.
that subscription.
Yes. He will get full authority. Like in Power BI, we have admin, member, contributor, and viewer. Same way. If you are giving subscription level access, everything below that will be visible. If you are giving resource group level, everything under that resource group would be visible or accessible. And if you are giving individual accesses to resources, only that resources or services will be visible or accessible.
Yeah, got
Okay. Now, and you have an option here. See, at a subscription, I am into this directory. If I would like to change it to some other directory, also I can change it. Now, for our case, we are not allowing anyone to change the directory because it's restricted. Maybe if you would like to change from one directory to different directory, from one domain to different domain, even that possibility is there. This is grayed out for us in case our domain, but you can still move from one directory to different directory. That means you can move subscription from TCS to some other company also. Even that possibility is there unless they haven't restricted it. So movement is all flexible. That's how clouds work. And this is not only with Azure, for all the clouds. Every cloud has this similar functionality. So again, think any questions on subscription, resource group, resources, access level at 3 different, like subscription level, resource group level, or individual resource level.
For example, we created one RG, and you are saying like we created a service one and service two.
Mhm.
So when I'm creating, like you have shown like IAM, right? That one. So at that time, will you have to give the users, or how it will do that one?
See, you will create your own service. If you would like to share it with some other person, you just
Mm.
have to go to the access control tab. Now, what kind of access would you like to give? Resource level, group level, or subscription level? So go to whichever group, I mean, whichever access would you like to give. If you would like to give at resource group level, go to that resource group, go to access control, select which role would you like to assign and select the member. If you're giving reader access, first select reader role. There are different roles. Select the role, select the user and give access. That's it.
Okay.
So
I have one question. Sorry,
yeah,
Nadal. Yeah. Can you explain the difference between resource and, service and uh, resource?
service and resource are same. Words are different. If I call ADF as a service, ADF is also a resource. There are similar words in cloud. Services and resources are same. Now, ideally, these are services. Ideally, these are services, but they are a part of resource group. That's the reason they are called as resource. Maybe if you want a better clarity, this is
Mm,
how it is
mm,
mentioned.
Got it. Thank you.
Ritesh,
Mhm.
in the Power BI, if we are working for any client, we will get a access from that client, right? So
Mhm.
for Azure, it will be a same or
Same. It would be same. If that person, if that client, or if that project is using Azure, they will give you Azure portal access.
okay.
Now, how much services, how much costing is there for any particular service? Yeah, we can see, right? The first thing in the subscription, you have so many charts. These are, see, KSR practice is what? It's a kind of one service which I've created. If you go to this cost analysis, it will give you detailed idea which service is costing you what amount. Let this open. And if I scroll down by service name, database is costing me 254 rupees full. Which location? I mean, where is your subscription hosted? Where is your resource group? Which resource group is costing you more? Everything is clearly mentioned. You can check all these details. So the Azure, I mean, not only Azure, all the cloud portals have this flexibility. All these cloud portals have this full flexibility to check all these details. Now, I mean, if you're activating something, maybe if you wanted to Netflix also, if Netflix is not working as expected, there will be some help options, right? Where you can explore some troubleshoot options or support options. For subscription level troubleshoot, also you have support in troubleshooting. For individual resource or a service level, also you have troubleshooting options. I mean, clouds are so efficient that you would like to set alerts that if my spending is going beyond 2000 Indian rupees, it should give me alert that the billing is increasing or it is going past 2000. You can set an alert also. You can set an alert. I've just mentioned alert. There is a cost alert service. This is a service. You can set up an alert that my costing is increasing by so and so. You have an option, add alerts. So if I click on alert, it will give me an option. You can set your own customized alert. You can set your own customized alert, right? You can create alerts. So if costing increases, if the resource is not used for 10 days, you can set alerts. That alert will trigger a notification that you're not using this service for so long. Can you delete it? Or would you like to delete it? I mean, that's how cloud works, right? If there are services which are not used, why to keep them? If you feel okay in future, if that is required, you can continue using them. But if it is not required, delete them. And Microsoft automatically sends some automated alerts. These are all manual alerts, but Microsoft already sent some automated alerts, right? We have budget alerts also. You can create your own budget alert as well. View monthly cost. What is the costing would you like to consider? Amount. Everything you can set up here. So cloud is so powerful that you think any service, you think anything that is already available. Right? Budget alerts. Maybe you can set an alert for number of users also. That for only one RG, for particular RG, it should not cross 50 users. If there are more than 50 users, maybe I have to create a different subscription for it, because I mean, that's how standard processes follow, right? If there are 50, 60 users, they would always recommend you to go ahead and create a subscription and that separate resource group and continue that using same resource group there or same resources there. So you can set alert for that. So this is a part of what? Alert management. There are so many options, right? So if you go on explore all these services, every service has a specific use case. You have an API. You can scan your face also. You can scan your face, whatever the face reading technology is used in your mobiles, right? For unlocking it. You can create your own face reading API as well here. You have a PDF, you have a document reader also. If you post a document, it will read all the document for you and it will summarize for you. Document intelligence. You can create this subscription. See, once you activate your Azure portal, the question is, or the options are with you. Whichever service you want, you can. But I would not suggest you to activate any random service, because you may not be aware. You might keep that service activated for 2-3 days and it will charge you large amount. So whichever services you are activating, try to check what is the costing per day. If you use it, if you not use it also, there are services which will cost you default like 2 rupees, 3 rupees per day or 20 rupees per day. That service is also available. So you can create a document intelligence service. This document, if you create this service and if you upload a PDF or any Word file, it will read that file and it will summarize for you. These are all artificial intelligence. These are all part of the artificial intelligence category. You have a bot service as well. So many services are available in cloud, and this is across all the clouds, not on Azure, across all the clouds. Okay, so any questions again?
Hi, Ritesh.
Okay, go ahead.
So I have one question. For example, in ADF, we create a table, okay?
Table is not
And
possible in ADF. ADF is just for movement. We have to create a table in database.
yeah, in database, sorry, my bad. So we created a table in database, and the client expectation is, for example, in each and every month, they need a export of that table in the Excel format to them automatically each and every month once the data get refreshed. So we need to send that export in Excel format automatically. Would it be possible that through this
Using ADF?
area?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. It is possible. You can use
Okay.
source as a SQL table. You can use destination as a CSV file. Every day it will generate a new CSV file, or if you would like to replace existing CSV file, yesterday's file with today's data, even that is possible. You can dump that SQL table into CSV and you can share it further. And where do you store that CSV? You can store it in some blob service or storage account.
Okay, got it. So is it practically also throughout this course? Is it somewhere can we
That's the
show
very
that?
basic pipeline. That's the very
Okay,
basic pipeline. I can show it in
okay,
5 minutes. It is
okay,
possible.
got
We
it.
would be starting with that.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah, yeah. It is. Thank you. Yeah, understood.
Anyone, any other questions? Maybe. It's almost 9. I'll not, I mean, from tomorrow onwards, I will be starting with the ADF. Yeah, just give me 1 minute and then maybe I can take up your questions again. So for today, what we discussed is all about the hierarchy. And you just have to understand, you just have to revisit all what we have gone through, because this is equally important. Subscription, resource group, resources, movement, how the movement happens, how the charges are there for resources. So just go back and recall it. From tomorrow onwards, I would be starting with what is ADF, what all components are present in ADF, right? We have discussed only components of cloud. We have discussed components of Azure cloud. Now we have to discuss components of individual service like ADF, right? So from tomorrow onwards, I'll be starting with the components of ADF, what exactly ADF is, what all components are present, how do you represent data in ADF, how do you transform that data? We would be starting tomorrow, right? And just to give you an highlight, this course is for people who have joined new today. This is for people who already know Power BI and reporting. This is developed for that people only. If you don't know end-to-end Power BI, I would not recommend this because Power BI is must for this course. I've seen people who try to attend, but they don't know end-to-end Power BI. No, that is not the case. Please make sure that you have a good Power BI experience only, then you try to enroll because it would be confusing for you people going ahead. Okay, yeah, open for questions.
Yeah, thanks, sir. Actually, is there any complete data modeling? There are several models, right? In database warehousing concept, like a data vault and
Yeah.
Kimball method and different type of modeling. So,
Mhm.
are you going to giving the briefing
No,
here in this course?
it's not a part of that, right? Data model is all part of data architect. Okay, data model from the Power BI point of view, it's a part of this course.
Yeah, I need that also. Actually, my
No,
guilt is,
this, okay,
yeah, I
so
will
the
go
one
through,
which
I will
you are
go
going, uh,
this course, and on top of, I need that also.
okay, maybe we can give you some notes. That is what we can do
Yeah,
because it's a kind of architect. It's a kind of architect role which you are considering, right? Data modeling at the data warehouse.
yeah, is there any course offering in our company? And I like, I
Probably
can
no.
join that.
Probably
I
no.
can join.
No in KSR. Okay, see, that is part of architect, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
Whatever you
want
are,
to go for that one.
okay,
For that one.
okay. So architect level course, for sure, I'm damn sure there are no courses available. Individual developer level courses are there. Architect level courses, you have to explore some other options outside. That's how it is. Purely architect level courses are different, right? That's how it works. Usually
Yeah,
people
in the
start with
architecture also, this is also very important, right? With this also important, architecture level also
so
important.
if you are working as an architect, you will not never work like a Power BI developer. For sure. I can give you a guarantee.
No, no, no. I am not going to work anything. I want to assign the work to under me, but I would
Mhm.
like to know what is going on,
Okay.
right?
So that data warehousing concepts, I can help you that what is data warehouse, how the data is dumped, how the data is transformed there. But the data modeling part is not covered.
Okay, okay, yeah, thanks.
Maybe I can help you with differences. I can give you some notes. That's what I can additionally do. Because even we have to go back and check how the data model, and it varies from project to project. It's not common. It's not very common, right? So depends on your data, how historical, how big the data is, what kind of data you have.
Yes.
Hello,
So
Ritesh.
our ADF creation, will you use any PySpark here?
This is not for data engineering. Let me clear. This is not even data engineering. Our focus would be in ADF. ADF has zero PySpark. Databricks has PySpark. So whatever Databricks we will be discussing, PySpark is what? It's a combination of Python and Spark. So Databricks uses Spark mechanism or Spark cluster, which will process the data faster. So I will be discussing what is the benefit of Databricks over ADF, how Spark optimization engine processes the data. So that we would be discussing. It's not data engineering. This is data analyst. With respect to ADF, our emphasis would be more on ADF rather than PySpark.
Hi, Ritesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ritesh, I want to know about security groups. How we create security group? I think I have got question. How do you create security groups to give access through Power BI app for increasing week by week clients getting increased.
Security groups.
Yes,
And it is with respect to Power BI.
yes,
Security groups in the sense it's a row level security, are you trying to say?
yes. Role level security for the
That
restriction
is
of
part
access.
of Power BI. That is part of Power BI. I mean, for sure, for Power BI, I have covered it. Security groups, yes, we have covered it in Power.
Okay.
Now, let me ask a question, a counter question to you. You are working as a Power BI developer as of now.
No, no, not.
Have you learned Power BI? Do you know Power BI end to end?
Yes, I know Power BI.
In that case, RLS is what? You also know how RLS is implemented.
Yes, yes, yes. I know that RLS how
Same way,
implemented.
in that RLS, you create security groups. Okay, the group which you are asking, maybe I got you now. Security groups in the sense, you have an option here. Maybe I got you. What you're trying to say.
That is in Azure Active Directory, I think.
Active Directory. It's
Yeah,
an
yeah,
enter ID. Yeah,
yeah.
it's an enter ID. I got you. So, what is a security group? Maybe I'll simplify it for you. If I go to my bad, I'll directly mention enter ID. Now, in this enter ID, there is this option called as group. Here you can create a group which is called as a security. There are 844 groups. Maybe if I open this group, there are so many groups which are available. So this is called as a security. Security group is what? See how it works in a company. Everything is all clearly managed. The information is all clearly sorted in any company. So there are 10 individuals who are joining a new project. Already there is a project which is going on. This project had 5 people already working in it, and this project had 1 subscription. This project has 1 subscription, 2 resource groups, and maybe 5 or 6 resources which are already present, resources or services. Right? 1 subscription, 2 resource groups, and 6 services which are present. And there are already 5 people. So all these 5 people will have individually email IDs added to subscription. That means they should have full access to all the below hierarchy. But going further, as and when the project extends, right, project is increasing. In that case, there will be more number of people. Now, additionally, 10 people are joining. So you have to go back and add 10 people email IDs manually. It's still easy. But if the team is expanding to few more people, again, 10 more people are joining. In that case, the number of count is increasing, right?
Yes.
So what they will do, they will not give you individual access. They will create one group. The group for resources is called as resource group. The group for users are called as security, where one security group can have 10 users, and every security group has an email ID. That email ID is added at a subscription level. So whomsoever is a part of that security group will have full access to all the subscription level information like resource groups and resources. That is called as security.
Yes, got it.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Ritesh, I have a quick question. So you mentioned someone need a Power BI end-to-end knowledge on this course. I have a little bit experience on that one. I am a background as I'm not fully used Power BI. The
Okay.
output, which means reporting, we are working on the reporting side.
Okay.
In our team, parallel team, only using that Power BI. So I know based on my interest, I have to create dashboards, those kind of information. I know that, but I am not sure about I am eligible for this course. But I want to upgrade my skill. So that is the reason I want to join this course.
Okay.
Do you want to suggest me to continue, or just
Okay. So
I
see,
would like to know your
what my
inputs?
suggestion is, what we have seen people coming to this course knowing that they learn Power BI from They know how to drag and drop some visuals. For sure, they can, anyone can do that. Just drag and drop, add some columns to it. There are people who have joined who say that we know end-to-end Power BI. End-to-end in the sense they know how to create some basic visuals. That is not Power BI. Power BI has Power BI service. Power BI has data modeling. Power BI has so many aspects like row level security. We have incremental refresh. So if you know all these concepts, right, in that case we would recommend. Now the question comes to you. You are already working professional. You know how Power BI works. I would not say neither no. I would not say neither yes. If you really want to upgrade, then it's always welcome. Now the question again says there are people who come to me who ask me that what is row level security, what is incremental refresh in between Azure sessions, which we cannot cover in between, right? That's the reason
Okay.
we emphasize if you know Power BI, if you know how we can connect from Azure to Power BI, then I would again recommend this.
Got it.
In between Power BI questions would pop up. I can answer it instantly on fly, maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes I can take. I'll not say no to it. But at certain point of time, they ask me a question that how do I create a data model in Power BI? Then it's not a part of Azure. It's not a part of Power. So that's how the differences you need to understand.
Yes, got it.
So we are not covering Power BI here. We are covering more specific to ADF, which is responsible for Power BI. We are not covering any Power BI now. ADF, which is responsible for Power BI.
Ritesh, one quick question. Like in coming days, since we're going to learn ADF and it's more of a drag and drop or like a steps kind of thing operation that we're going to perform. It's not a coding thing. So will we get enough time during the class itself that we can try and perform along with you?
If see the question again, I might be very fast because I'm frequently using since last 7 8 years the ADF. ADF was nowhere in the market in 2020
No, but
from
why?
20 or
Because you'll also not rush it like anything. Given
no
that
no no.
people are
Okay.
learning it, so you'll
To
will.
be frank, as I've said, 22 sessions I've mentioned. The same way how we have done SQL, right? The same way we would be covering this. Now, how many people have attended SQL? I might have missed that exact names, but how we start Power BI, slowly we start. At certain point of time, we reach a limit that where we need to exceed or speed up. There only I'll speed up, right? The way we are covering for the first, now today's third session, right? Still we haven't speed up at certain point of time where I think that you are used to this UI, I can speed up the process.
Because just after a few days of working along with you, we'll get used to of this
Yeah.
UI of this Azure. Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
And that's common for all the tools, not only in Azure. Whichever, even if you learn Power BI, right? That's how we started. Slowly, then we'll increase the pace.
Correct, correct. Like for Power BI SQL, we already have some prior
Yeah.
understanding, so yeah, that's what.
Again, let me again highlight. See, if you would like to attend this, Power BI for them, it is recommended. I'm not saying that there are people who knows Power BI, but they're still hesitant whether I should go for this course. Maybe you have to go back and think, would you like to learn cloud? Then it's a good fit. And this is only developed for people who are working like a Power BI developer or who would be working like a Power BI developer. This is not for data engineering. Data engineering has pure programming in it. We have Python. We start with Python in data engineering. Then we merge it with Spark. We have Hadoop also, the big data concepts, Hive. So all these will come into picture. This is for data analyst. Amount of coding will be very limited. Rather, it would be only 5%, where it would be more a kind of formula based. You have to mention certain functions or formulas. In ADF also, you have certain functions or formulas going further. Is it similar like Power BI? Power BI has DAX functions, right? Something similar, but ADF functions are not that critical. If you remember, good. If you don't remember, still good. Because ADF is morely drag and drop and understanding what that logic does. all automated logics are available in ADF. And one additional news, which is over and above, which I would like to highlight is, see, as Microsoft has created its own aura, right? Aura in the sense what? They have launched Azure, they have launched Power BI, and they are one of the market leaders now from the reporting point of view. And they are forcing everyone to move to, if let's suppose earlier the companies were using Click. Earlier, the companies were using Tableau. Nowadays, there are still companies which use Tableau. There are companies which were using MicroStrategy or Looker, right? So all these companies, I mean, all these clients who were using all these legacy BI tools. Now, I'll not say Click and Tableau as legacy because these are still in market, but everyone is moving to Power BI because it is way more cheaper, the cheapest BI tool, cheapest reporting tool. And once they move to Power BI, if these companies were using some other clouds like GCP or Oracle or AWS, if they're using Power BI, Microsoft also pushes them to use Azure. Why not go to Azure? Why not go to Azure? So at certain point of time, even they will move their cloud provider to Azure. So how they have created this dominance? They have created this dominance because they have all the products available under their parent company, Microsoft. The same way, slowly a new competitor is evolving. I mean, it would take a lot of stamina for them to compete with Microsoft. Microsoft is totally different level. If you observe, Tableau was owned by Tableau organization, but 3 years, not even three, more than, I guess it's somewhere between 2 to 3 years back, it was took over, or the Tableau was completely purchased by Salesforce. And if you know yesterday's news, it's just an yesterday's news, there is a different ETL tool which is available in the market, which was one of the best ETL tool, and still it is one of the best. But it is not part of Azure. It is called as Informatica. Informatica is one of the best ETL tool. You can use Informatica for Power BI also, but Informatica is separate. It is not a part of Azure. It's a separate ETL tool, which is totally kept separate. It's not a part of any cloud. Informatica has its own cloud. So Salesforce has also purchased Informatica. They have completely acquired Informatica now. Slowly, there is a new force which is developing, which is Salesforce, which is competing with Power BI, which is competing with Microsoft. There will be competitors. More the competition, better would be the services of Microsoft, right? So if you see, maybe next 1 year or 2 years, Fabric will evolve a lot, and even Microsoft will come up with pay as you go for Fabric. What's my thinking is, because I've been working with Microsoft, I know how Microsoft deals. And until and unless there are competitors, it will do whatever they want. But if there is a competition coming in, they will capture that market with certain discounts, certain customer friendly benefits. Okay, so again, let me highlight 8 to 9:30 hour sessions, not on Monday, from Monday to Friday, weekdays only. Uh, 22 sessions we started on 17th, probably on 18th or 19th of December, it would be last, 18th or 19th. Right? Not even 19th, I guess it would be 17th, 18th only. 18th or 19th of December, we would close this. Right? So that's our ideal end date, 17th, 18th, and 19th. Let's consider these 3 days. Either of them would be the last day. And 8 to 9:30 a.m. sessions, already people with Power BI and SQL knows this, Monday to Friday. So how to enroll, how to check? I mean, you can connect with the KSR team. You can visit our website, right? If you're new to this, if you want to check what is covered inside this, what is covered inside Azure, so you can visit our website, right? So once you visit, once you go to, you have courses, right? So you can explore whichever courses would you like. So Azure and MS Fabric tools, this is the course which we are going through. So you can check this, you can enroll this for now, for which is free preview, and you can check, you have a brochure here, course curriculum. You can download this brochure. What we would be covering is clearly mentioned inside this brochure. Right? So try to visit our website, check what we would be covering inside this. If you would like to enroll, maybe today's third session, you still have 2 more days. You still go back and think, understand what I'm trying to say. If you're satisfied with what I am explaining, you're able to understand, you're able to grasp, then it's your choice.
So, Ritesh, my last question. Can you? I'm not sure whether it's a right question to ask. This is a right place.
No worries. Yeah.
How this course is different from the Udemy course? It's the same as the ADF Azure Data Factory course. So I saw there is a Udemy course. I honestly, I mean, I just yesterday I checked that the price is like a USD dollar is at $20. But as per you yesterday, you mentioned that it's around 10,000 rupees for Indian rupees for this course for 22 days. So even if we are taking few more days extra, it goes beyond the 30 days. So for 1 month, so you meant that 10,000 rupees. But in Udemy, they are going the same kind of a course is like a $20, $30. Just I'm trying to I'm not comparing. Just I'm trying to understand from your perspective how it is different.
It's always good to compare, right? That's what I've said. If there is a competitor, we have to compare it how different. Out of 10K, we would be giving a license of Fabric, which would cost maybe for 60 days, which would cost us 4K.
Of Fabric license is included. Okay.
Yeah. Now the other 6K, which is left over, we are not only covering ADF. If you see that Udemy course, it is only independent ADF activities. Activities are what? Logics which are used for transformations. We are covering additional like storage account. We are covering additional like keywords. We are covering additional benefits of Databricks, how Databricks is different. Do we really go with Databricks over ADF at certain point of time? We are also covering Synapse. Synapse in the sense, Synapse is a combination of 4 services. Fabric is a combination of multiple services, right? Synapse is a combination of 4 services. Maybe I can say it now. Synapse is a part, it's a combination of ADF, combination of Databricks, combination of database, and combination of storage account. These 4 services clubbed together to form one single Synapse environment. Now, this is not mentioned anywhere in Udemy. You have to take separate Synapse, separate Databricks, separate Key Vault, separate services separately. That's what it is different. Udemy, you will have all pre-recorded. Here, we will have all live sessions. I mean, that is common, and that you may already know it.
Okay, thank you.
So if anyone is interested, you still have a day time, maybe 2 days time. You can go back and check with the team. How to check with the team? Visit our website. There are numbers, there are contacts which are displayed at the below. You can contact any one of them. If no one is picking up the call, one for sure, maybe after an hour or maybe between that time, they would call back to you. You will receive a call back if no one is able to pick up. There are 2 numbers, but ideally you will get a call from different people also. 5 to 6 people are working in this KSR team who might reach out to you for any additional support or assistance while enrolling. Any other questions? So it's 9:25, 5 more minutes. If you have no questions, good what we covered. Let's continue tomorrow with the ADF and its subcomponents. Thank you, everyone. Have a very good day, and let's connect back tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.